What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new tactic. Today we've got a nice balanced, slow, more tiki-taka based tactic, which actually uses the balance mentality and also two strikers. So very non-meta based today, as I've seen some comments requesting a bit more variety. So if you do enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And once again, you can comment below any tactic you want to see, any rebuild you want to see. I've got to have them all noted down here, and your request will be done. We've got plenty of time. Let's crack on. First up is going to be my favourite Dutch team. That is going to be PSV. Now, PSV are a very, very fun team to watch in real life. They've got some great players and they actually suit this tactic very, very well, which a lot of people wouldn't even give the light a day because it doesn't feature wingers. But we got the best out of one player in particular. That is going to be Gus Till, who enjoyed a great season. Now, in terms of not only winning the actual Dutch league, which, you know, is to be expected, but maybe not as dominant as what we did do it, we do also win the Dutch Cup 2-0 over Feyenoord, and the Johan Cruyff Shield 4-1 also over Feyenoord again. So, Feyenoord fans, I do apologise. Now, going over to the Europa League, it was the real disappointing part of the season. Not just that, but also Champions League. We weren't that great in Europe, which has to be displayed. It's not all perfect. Going over to the Dutch League, we are going to win 27, draw 5, and only lose 2 games, with Gus Till and De Jong scoring a combined 50 goals between them. So, 60 goals actually, miscounted there. 60 goals between them, and a very strong season, the likes of Ismail and also Malacia, Tillman, a great time for everyone really. And this tactic really did work well in this league. But of course, don't worry, we've got 2 other teams as yet. We've got Chelsea and also Leverkusen. So we've gone global, we've gone all over Europe to see exactly what happens with this tactic. Also, not a bad stat line for our goalkeeper there, with just 5 clean sheets behind taking rank number 1. Now, in terms of the stats, not only are you going to have a good amount of possession, 66% of the ball, you are also going to outscore everybody. Now, this tactic does it very, very well because despite not having loads of shots, like compare this to some of my more faster paced tactics, this actually doesn't have that many shots, but what we are is very clinical because we are playing that short passing play link up. We've got tons of creative options, and as you can see, defensively, we are also absolutely sound. So every element on the football pitch, we are doing very, very well. The only thing we didn't win is going to be the pass completion because Groningen, where it's due, you've got to give them credit, have 91%, so fair play to them. But in terms of the data hub, 3.5 goals a game, just shy of 20 shots a game, which is still quite rewarding, an 89% pass completion and only 0.68 conceded, which is a mixture of being defensively solid but also having 66% possession. If you've got the ball, you're not going to concede goals. 7-goal thriller in the Dutch League against Ajax, one of our toughest oppositions. We actually start off with a great bit of play here from Lang into Malacia, a great ball back stick, and it is going to be just about Till leaping over Marco there, or Mario, shall I say, to get the job done. But the man who got leapt over then puts a great ball into the box, and it is a great ball, and it's one of the more scrappy goals I think I have had in a video in a long time. A very unfortunate goal to concede, but we bounce back, again, loads of creative options, and this is where people sometimes get put off because they think, oh, narrow system, there's no width. This is one of the AMs. Look how wide he is. He's almost acting as that winger, and that works really well. A great run here from Lang as well, who actually does get found a touch inside, and that is what this tactic can do. That's why I picked this game in particular, because you can see a load of goals go in, you can see the width being supplied, and of course, let's not forget, we do have wing backs. They do provide the width, they do obviously go up the field, and when they can put balls in like that and get involved, you are going to score goals, as we did, as we find ourselves in the second half now, with Tillman making a bit of a sloppy pass and pretty much gifting Ajax their second goal of the game. But I don't know if it was more of a gift, the giveaway, or that goalkeeping, because that was not great goalkeeping. But that aside, we brush that off, we go again. Great bit of width being provided there from Karsdorp. Down the right-hand side, a little ball in maybe. It is going to be a ball in, and Till is always going to be an option. The 3 central players in them attacking midfield roles always find a way to be in the box. And again, another situation, another scenario. This is one of them attacking players in the central area. Look how wide he is. Providing width to the team. You shouldn't be put off by playing a narrow system because you still can get your width pretty easy. Over to Chelsea, a very, very interesting team to use with this tactic, and we got the best out of the players that I would expect. Cole Palmer and also Nkunku are going to be your star players. Quarter-final exit in the Carabao Cup, not ideal, and runners-up again, I'm not too annoyed about that because Liverpool are a very, very strong team. But the main focus was to win the Premier League, and we got that done by quite a fair few points as well. And it is going to be Cole Palmer as our top goal scorer, the third best in the league. We do have the most clean sheets, and it is going to be Dewsbury Hall and Nkunku in the assists. Very nice to see Dewsbury Hall getting involved right there. But overall, a great season. As you can see, a fair point advantage as well. And in terms of the stats, it's going to be a very similar pattern. The most goals, the most shots, and it's not even that many. Possession, joint first, incredibly competitive, and pass completion, the same, so 89%. And because of the possession, because of the control and stature of this tactic, we are also going to be the best when it comes to defending. Data Hub, we can go and get a little glimpse as well at just over 3 goals a game. A little better when it comes to the defensive side and 0.55. A good pass completion and a few less shots per game. But honestly, it didn't affect the goals going in. We still outscored everyone and we still won the league. This is a really good example. We are going to watch the highlights, don't worry, but against a team like Man City, who have also signed Frimpong in this save, we managed to outpossess them. More possession, we had more shots even off target. Not that you should brag about that, but what I'm trying to get across is we went to City and we really, really took the game to them. And they're a team that thrive on possession, and playing us, they literally had no chance. We were so superior to them. A great goal there from Cole Palmer inside of the first half. And we actually go on to win this game quite comfortably. As you can see from the stats, we always were the team in control. Palmer plays it through into Jackson. It's a great run and it's a great finish. Then lastly, Bayer Leverkusen, one of my favourite German teams, just behind RB Leipzig, but we come out and win the quadruple, and that is a really, really impressive quadruple. The Europa League over RB Leipzig, the Pokal 4-2 over Freiburg in extra time, and the Super Cup 2-0 over Stuttgart. So it is going to be the German treble and of course the European trophy, making it that quadruple, and we only actually fail to win 2 of the games. We win 29, we draw 3, we lose 2 there against Leipzig and Bayern, who did give us a very good season, but we have an 11-point advantage, so it wasn't ridiculously close. And as you can see, a lot of our players are going to be in the key stat lines. And once again, possession, we are going to come out on top. That is now 2 times we'll come out on top and 1 joint first. And the pass completion, 88, so 1% less. But I mean, if you look at the rest of the stuff going in our favour, the most goals, the most shots, the most clean sheets, the fewest conceded, we are taking home every stat line that you really should be focusing on. And as you can see, the data hub has looked pretty consistent all the way through. Chance to play Dortmund in the league, not an easy team to face actually, but we nearly had 60% possession in this game alone against a very strong Dortmund team, which we do go 1-0 up against inside of 20 minutes. So when you start these games with such a fast pace, you are going to expect to obviously go on and do great things, and we did that. You know, literally 10 minutes after that, Xhaka is going to put a ball in the box, and it's a great ball and an even better header from Schlick, who obviously is a great player to be in the box and be causing mayhem. As we find ourselves now 10 minutes before full time, Boniface making a run, actually becoming what apparently is Lionel Messi. A great finish there, a great run, and that is the other thing this tactic does well. These advanced forwards we operate with are told to roam, get into different areas, and it works really well. And honestly, if you are a fan of a 2-striker system, I would not look any further. This is really the one. Now over to your favourite part of the video, that is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And once again, if you are interested in rebuilds, make sure you are coming on over to Daily Josh, because I will use this tactic and I need a team to rebuild, so you can let me know in the comments, because whatever you want, I will make it happen. Now, to make this tactic, back home, you want to click Tiki Taka. For me, I'm going to create your own style because we're going to talk through the system. But back home, Tiki Taka it is going to be. Create your own style, and we are going to load in this 4-2-2 because it's a little bit different, but it's somewhat similar, so we can build off that quite easily. Now, we are going to start off with the goalkeeper today. That is going to be a sweeper keeper who is simply going to be operating on support. When it comes to the mentality, by the way, this was actually set all around the balanced mentality, and this was a request from a viewer, so those that are watching, especially that one who requested it, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. So we are going to operate all on the balanced mentality in the default version. The attacking version, we get a little bit creative, but for this one, is going to be on the balanced. When it comes to the wing backs, we are going to use 2 automatic wing backs on the right and also the left hand side, so that is nice and easy to set up. When it comes to the back 2, we are going to use 2 ball playing defenders. Both of them are going to be on the default, which does complete a very, very calm back pairing. Now, these wing backs, they are going to have instructions. So on the right hand side, we are going to go with run wide, get forward alongside of sitting narrow, also tackling harder, and also marking tighter. So quite a fair few instructions. It always looks like a lot when you use a automatic role because they have none by the default. So you have to literally apply a lot of instructions to get the same as maybe like a wingback on support would have, for example. So we are going to go and do exactly the same for the left hand side. That is running wide, getting forward, sitting narrow, and also tackling harder and marking tighter. So these wingbacks sort of will sit narrow, then when they've got the ball, they're going to run wide with it, which of course is vital because it's actually quite a narrow system. So they need to be making that happen is what I'm trying to say. Now, going up the pitch, of course, we are going to lose that man there. And we are going to drag this man into a central area, and we are going to have him as a DM simply on support, and he is going to share these instructions consisting of taking fewer risks, shooting less, holding the position, and also tackling harder. Now, this is one role I would never change in the team because this needs to be like this, because if you have him roaming about, if you have him going forwards, you are going to struggle. You are going to struggle big time. So make sure he has these instructions because you want him to be a very risk-free player, which then allows that front five, the block five, to actually go on an attack. I do want to quickly say at this part of the video, if you are interested in getting all of these wonderful perks, which does include access to all 3 of the tactics today, you get them on mobile, get them on console, you get all of my rebuild files, you get one-on-one tactical help, ad-free viewing. All of these videos also get posted on the Patreon, but there is 0 adverts, and under that post you have all of the tactics, all of the rebuild files, Wonder Kid shortlists. There's loads of stuff, so make sure you head on over because there's also 20% off right now. But going to the sort of the real heart of the team, we are going to get a little bit creative. So on the right hand side, we are going to use an AM on attack. On the left hand side, another AM on attack, and through the middle we are going to use an enganche. Now the enganche actually worked really well in this system, and if you don't have one, you've not got a player that can play that role, you could just use an AM on support, but have some fun, try and replicate it, because honestly they done a really good job in this role. And he is going to have 2 instructions, being shorter passing and also shooting less often. The instructions on the AMs, also let's go over and cover, they are both going to share exactly the same: shorter passing, moving into the channels, and also roaming from the position. And what you're probably noticing quite quickly and becomes quite obvious, we are having a shorter passing sort of path with this 3 because they link up really well together. You've got the AM on the right and on the left, roaming, moving into different channels, and it just makes for what is a real fluid movement from the front 5, to the point where this will also become a lot more obvious as both of the advanced forwards are also on shorter passing, roam, and also tackle harder. So now you do literally have a front 5 that are all short in pass, linking up together, all roaming, getting into different areas, and that is why sometimes you saw the AM almost drift and replace the advanced forward, and sometimes the advanced forward is going to be out here, in here, taking up different positions, and it becomes almost impossible for the AI to actually mark it. It's very difficult. But going over to the team instructions, we are going to go down to fairly narrow. Final third is going to be using low crosses, dribble less, and also be more expressive, with much shorter being used, and also the tempo being set to slightly higher. In transition, we're going to counter press, we're going to leave this bit blank, and we are going to distribute quickly, play into anyone across that back line, because no one's too attacking, they're all going to be on an equal wavelength, so we can play to anyone across that back line. And out of possession, we are going to deploy the standard line with that high press, step up more alongside of get stuck in, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and also a nice and simple maxed out trigger press. Now, I have gone over to the effort to make an attack conversion, and again, not too much might change from this, but we are going to buff it up a little bit. Now, what doesn't change is a lot here. So, for example, this front 5 does remain the same, because at the end of the day, I want it to be exactly the way that it was in the default version. The DM, I said we couldn't really change. The wingbacks also don't change at all. It is pretty much the same. Both of the centre backs, however, are now told to dribble more, and the team instructions, it is going to change a little bit. So positive mentality is the first big change. We are going to stick with the low crosses. this is where it gets a bit interesting, because not only are we going to play out from the back, we're going to overlap right, overlap left, really get stuck in, can't get my words out, and this is where we are going to see another change. The tempo all the way up to higher. This does remain the same because I didn't really want to have the run at defense just to make it more and more direct, because it takes away from how and why this tactic was actually made. It gets rid of the DNA of the tactic. In transition, we're going to counter press and keep this exactly the same because there is no real reason to change it. But of course, the default version had the standard line. We're going to push it up now, go with the higher line, go with much more often, go with prevent, get stuck in, and also step up more. And that's going to give you the attacking version, which of course is very similar to this one, but just a little bit more edgy. Now, to defend the game out with, we are going to scrap the enganche and we are going to go with a couple different player role changes. So the advanced forwards do remain the same. The AMs all share the same apart from the central one. So on the right and the left, they are now on support. On pass it short, roam and stay wide. In the middle, pass it short, shoot lefts, roam, and also moving into the channels. The DM now goes on defend, on take fewer risks, and also tackle harder. The wingbacks now have 3 instructions: sit narrow, tackle harder, and also mark tighter. And the ball players also do remain as the default, as does the goalkeeper. We're then going to drop all the way down to balanced again, down to fairly narrow. The final third remains the same, dribble less, and the big change coming in, the tempo down to slightly lower, the passing all the way down as we play out from the back. And as you can probably get a vibe for right now, we are going with a team that is aggressive to win the ball back. When we have got the ball, we're going to hold the shape, control the game, and just become a very frustrating team to play against, as we also add on slow the pace down, while we continue to play to anyone across the back line. And when it comes to out of possession, the standard line with the high press, and simple but basic, gets the job done, the standard trigger press. And that's going to give you, boys and girls, 3 variants of the balanced machine. You have got a default version, an attacking version to go and chase a game, and also a defensive version to defend the game out with. And that's going to give you very, very good options there. So hopefully you have enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Again, get commenting below what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one.